So it's impossible to actually fail Kapooka because everyone here in this stack is relying on each other. So what I'm saying here is, do you have my 6? Picture yourself as the lead guy while I talk now. Just say you are male, female, doesn't matter. And you've done all the hard work. You blitz this session for the U session, the assessment session, which also has a psychology, and also the PFA, the pre-enlistment fitness assessment.
Levels 7, 8.
And then you get to Kapooka and you're like, okay, here I am. I've done all the preparation. I'm good to go. Motivated. I've been with Kaz for 2 years now. Was a member. Actually made it to sergeant and joined. Stoked. You know, no Lauren, Dave D, all of the crew. But what about the people behind you? What about the people that take it for granted? What about the people that turn up at the base level requirement, not just physically, but also emotionally, also psychologically? Do they have your 6? Because what we're seeing now is the dropping of standards at Kapooka way too low. We're seeing the degrading of the same standards at the School of Infantry to allow multi-genders to be able to be successful at the role, to keep the politicians off their back. When you decay something that has been set in stone, it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to change shit, team. But what happens is you get incrementally less capable. Okay, and instead of having one person in the class like we see in the school these days, where there's not one drongo in the class, there might be 2 or there might be 7. And then it gets to the stage where you're not even combat effective anymore. So picture yourself in that stack there. What if you've done all the work and you're the most capable? So the commander puts you at the front, but you have 3 people, 1 person, 2 people behind you that cannot do the job, that are not up to it, that won't make it to the finish line or slow you down, or don't have the ability or the fortitude or the trust in their training because they're substandard. Do they have your 6? That's what I'm asking. Ask yourself. So now what I want you to do is, you're not going to be the guy at the front of the stack. Now you're going to be the person who's the 2nd, 3rd or 4th. Do you have the 6 of the person that's trained hard to prepare for not just a career, but calling? Do you have their 6? Do you, or do they deserve the trust in you? What I'm asking is the work you do before you go to the U session, the assessment session, the work you do before you go to the PFA. You should be able to far exceed it. It should be obvious when you turn up that you are the right droid we're looking for. What we should never see is people get to Kapooka and say, outside act of God, outside family emergency.
Year-old Jackson Blaine, you are the fun.
That I can't go on. You know, something's occurred. Because you've already been vetted physically, you've been vetted academically, you've been vetted emotionally and psychologically. So it's impossible to actually fail Kapooka because you've already been successful in all of the testing. Probably the hardest it's ever been to actually get into the military. So always remember that. Do you have my 6? And do I deserve to have yours? Can he trust me with yours? Okay, let's move on from that.